mobile live stream, which I haven't done a whole lot. But let me get back on. In the last one I did was July 4th, last Thursday. So I had some questions then, and so I thought I'd go over or talk a little bit about Without a Song, which was one that was requested. And thought I'd talk about that a little bit, and just take your general questions and comments and stuff. So a couple of things that I'll just mention off the bat about this tune is you've got E flat, and then you pretty much have a five of four right after, right? So you've kind of one, and then the E flat major seven will become dominant seven, and that's called a secondary dominant. So that lands on the four chord. And when you look at kind of the collections of notes, let's say if you just play a scale, E flat major scale, E flat Ionian, right? We have three flats. We have E flat and A flat and B flat. So when you make this dominant seventh, then you're taking the D and changing it to a D flat. So we're borrowing from the key of A flat, I'll land on the four chord. And then this next chord that comes up is the flat seven. Now, oftentimes on the flat seven, a chord scale that works really well is called the Lydian dominant. So you can play kind of a mix of Lydian with a raised 11. So that's kind of a good scale to use on some of these dominant sevenths. Nobody knows when you're down and out. Oh, I'll write that down too. Thanks for the tunes stuff. Nobody knows when you're down and out. Okay, yeah, so thanks for writing in. I'll mention too that any of the videos that you see or watch on my channel, send me a update on how you're doing on it, or anything really. Okay, let's see. So we're talking about the flat seven. So there are a lot of spots where that sort of sound comes in helpful. That comes out of the melodic minor. Okay, that's kind of like this sort of sound. So the A flat melodic minor, G sharp melodic minor. So it's going to be kind of a matter, at least on improvising, to to go through and play some of those chord scales, at least, to get you acquainted with the tune. Cool. All right. And then from there we've got one chord, and we kind of get into our circle fists, going back to the E flat. So it sort of starts going sort of behind, in a way, the tonic, and then it starts going up above the tonic. This is another change you could do, which is F sharp diminished. Thanks for your comments and everything. I'll write some of these tunes down. All right, and so the form overall is gonna have A B A, which is kind of a shorter B section. So it goes to the 4 again, and then it's gonna cycle down to the 1, and then it's gonna go to the 3, and then you're gonna have 2 5 to the 3, and then cycling back down again. And as an alternate change, you can have the diminished, flat 3 diminished, moving through into it. Another tune that I have on my list of things to do is There Will Never Be Another You. So I don't know if folks have played that one. But that's another one there. Yeah, Wave and Breezin', I have done videos on those. Check those out. So There Will Never Be Another You is another tune in E flat, and we just did a little bit of an analysis on that on the member area of the channel. But maybe I'll go over that just briefly as well. Some of the chord voicings. I think in the last video like this, I talked about chords and inversion. Let's see, ever heard Andy Brown in Chicago? I'll have to check him out. My phone's ringtone. Well, I just use a generic ringtone. I don't even know what it's called. The intro for Breezin', it's been so long since I've played that tune, and I'd probably need to warm that up first. But I hope you're doing all right with that. Yeah, I don't know. Do you all have ringtones, jazz tunes? I should put like a tune as my ringtone. This is another tune that has that flat 7 chord in there. So if you're in the key of E flat and you have a D flat 7, that's a good opportunity to work at using that Lydian dominant scale. Because oftentimes it has this sharp 11 in the chord. So D flat 9 sharp 11, which you could play D flat sharp 11 here. So this will apply to both of those tunes. So folks writing in, what are you playing lately? Are you playing out, or are you playing particular tunes, working on particular melodies or anything? Okay, another moment in this tune, There Will Never Be Another You, is we land on an F flat, but it's in a closely related key. It would be the 5 chord in the key of 2 flats, right? So when we go and we're in the key of E flat, for example, when we're improvising, we want to be aware, especially of the key of 4 flats, key of 3 flats, that's the key we're in, and the key of 2 flats. Even if we don't play the B flat major, right, we're going to have this F7 or F9. So another area on this too we want to think about is the 2-5 to a relative minor, and this is where a lot of folks get caught up, I think. But if you play on a G7 flat 9, you can use the C harmonic minor from that mode or chord scale, which would give you the Phrygian dominant. So there's another dominant 7 type scale to be aware of. And then you can select that and move around from one to the next. My favorite chord? Gosh, I don't know if I have a favorite, but I am quite fond of this chord, which I think I've used in a couple videos that I've done. But thanks for your question. So this is one of my favorites. What's kind of cool about it, I think, is it's got this pianistic sort of sound to it. So you might call it a B flat major 13. But basically, you've got root note here, B flat, and then you have the 7 and the 3rd over here. I'm glad you like it too. So the 7 and the 3rd. So if you are playing, let's say, a chord like this, let's take out string 2, and then take this note over to string 2 from string 3, and then you put a 9 in the middle, string 3 from 5. And that sounds great too. That's a really nice chord. But then putting that string 1 in it already, yes, C, and then you're already sitting there on that G on string 1, fret 3. So it's nice. It's kind of mysterious sounding. As the 9th, that's correct, yeah. Classic blues. Okay, I've got another comment here. CE7. Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for joining in. Appreciate it. This is kind of encouraging because I haven't done this a whole lot. Just kind of shooting this on my phone. And C, E7, A7, F, A7, D minor, G. Very classic blues chords. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, they have to give me the kind of the durations on that. Yeah, that sounds cool. A7, A7, D minor, G. Cool, that was great. Indian raga. I don't. Sometimes I do look up little things if I have a few moments in the usually Sunday mornings. I look up some syllables. I'll look up like syllables that are used in Indian traditional Indian rhythms and stuff. I mean that's an area where that is really sophisticated, you know, rhythmic and melodic music. You know, because you have microtonal things going on, and you have just incredible, mind-blowing rhythms and stuff. But I don't know any, but I do investigate those that world a little bit, and I've even heard some interesting rock groups with can't place the names right now, but rock groups with doing uh, sort of maybe Indian influence on that. So if that's what you're talking about, um, okay. Hello, yeah. So I'm not quite sure what I can make out Argentina, but yeah, I love so okay, okay, yeah. Hello. So yeah, I really I love to play Latin music as well, and that's one thing I'm doing with some of these backing tracks is doing a swing version, and then even eighths or kind of Latin version of some of the things. A lot of it inspired by Brazilian music, um, but I have watched some interesting things about the ukulele actually when it comes to um, Argentina, and there's maybe some relatedness on those instruments. So um, but it strikes me that I have investigated at least a little bit. So Argentinian kind of music. So I'm just in between a few lessons here, so probably hang out for a few more minutes. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions or comments. A couple things just kind of in the works. I plan to do a guitar class coming up online, and I think it's going to turn into a weekly thing, quite possibly. But kind of putting together that in the works, and so that's going to be part of a WebEx kind of thing, and I'm going to do that through my website, fredprince.com. And but if all goes well, I'll be live streaming tomorrow, kind of my regular studio live stream tomorrow around 12 o'clock. So join me for that. I'll probably put a link out a little bit before, but I do appreciate you all joining me, and thanks for checking us out. So, oh, one thing that's kind of cool. This little chord I play, I think I looked up. This is kind of a cool chord to try if you like. It's based on a simple chord, F7, one of the kind of standard bar chords, and then you just bump the keep these two notes are the same, but you, instead of playing this note, you play this note. Instead of this note, you play this note. And you get this kind of cool sound. And these two notes gonna sit right next to each other. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, another amazing chord, pretty cool one. So try this out. And you can try it out in different locations. You can do the same thing with a basic D7, although this one's maybe a little less comfortable. But that one's kind of tough. But this one's good. And then you can always try it out way up here too. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate you checking this out, and appreciate your comments. And I did write down some of these tunes, so maybe I'll consider to talking about those more. Yes, less comfortable, but the sound is amazing. Absolutely. Appreciate your encouragement. Thank you, Costello. All right, everybody. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Have a great practice session.